From Party Foul in Murfreesboro, here's Blue Raider Extra Point.
Welcome to Blue Raider Extra Point. I'm Abigail Martin, joined as always by Chase Owens and with Will Stevenson. We're back at Party Foul in Murfreesboro on another college game day morning, ready to give you all the Conference USA and MTSU Blue Raider info. Let's kick it off. First up, we have Nathan Vaughn in the starting lineup.
The starting lineup.
Control of the Big Ten's playoff spot will be on the line Saturday as undefeated Indiana heads to Columbus for a matchup against Ohio State. The Hoosiers have been one of the biggest surprises in the Big Ten this season and are coming off dominant wins over Michigan and Michigan State in the last 2 weeks. Michael Penix has been outstanding on offense, but the Hoosiers have been feasting on opposing turnovers in the last few weeks. Meanwhile, for Ohio State, the Hoosiers may be the only roadblock in their way to the Big Ten championship game. The Buckeyes have been unstoppable this season with Justin Fields and a treasure trove of talented skill players pouring on the points. Ohio State are massive favorites, but can Indiana pull off the upset of the year? Speaking of the playoffs and the Big Ten, fellow unbeaten Wisconsin and Northwestern will duke it out as well on Saturday for sole control of the West Division of the conference. Despite COVID setbacks, Graham Mertz and the Badgers ran all over a downtrodden Michigan team last week en route to a massive blowout victory. Wisconsin has dreams of another conference championship berth, but will need to overthrow the conference's other big surprise in the Wildcats of Northwestern. The perennial nerds of the Big Ten, Northwestern hit the weights in the offseason clearly and have morphed into a wall of a defense that is handling business so far in 2020. This is the Cats' biggest challenge on the road to Indianapolis. Can Peyton Ramsey and company pull off the upset? And finally, Bedlam has come back for another year of wild and unpredictable offensive explosions as Oklahoma and Oklahoma State face off. Oklahoma State has hit a lot of road bumps in the last few weeks, including a heartbreak loss to Texas 2 weeks ago. Now, after just surviving K-State, the Pokes face a team they have lost 5 in a row and 13 of the last 15 to in the series in the Sooners. Oklahoma, meanwhile, has only improved after a torrid start to start 2020. Spencer Rattler and company have started to develop some chemistry, which led to a 62-9 smoke show of Kansas last week. The Big 12 is all but out of playoff contention, but a win for either team would keep them in the hunt for a conference title.
Chase, I know you're so excited for this one. It's week 12 of CUSA football. Go ahead and take us around the CUSA.
Well, at this point, you guys know the drill. The first game I'm going to start you guys off with is FIU taking on Western Kentucky. FIU not having the season. You know, they're 0-4 on the year. Had to cancel some games because of the corona. And WKU picked to win the conference before the season even started, and they're just on a down year. The other game for you guys is actually MTSU taking on Troy. Battle of the Palladium 2.0. Actually, the first time in history that these two teams have played each other twice in the same season.
We've been hearing all season, go Miners. They take a loss one time and you're taking them out of around the CUSA?
Well, for sure. We don't talk about losers in around the CUSA.
Around the CUSA.
Florida International was never going to be anyone's choice to dominate Conference USA, but at 0-4 they haven't really played anybody particularly well this year. Against FAU, though, the Panthers did not look too bad and had some early third down stops and were going toe-to-toe with FAU until the Owls put on 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Devontae Price has been the lone bright spot for the Panthers as he averages 120 yards a game, 8 yards a carry, and 1 touchdown per game. WKU does give up 180 yards rushing per game, and Price might be able to keep the Panthers in it. Western Kentucky is the opposite of FIU as they actually were picked by some to win their side of the conference. But at 3-6 on the year and 2-3 in the conference, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. But they come into this week's game with a huge chance to win. They allow 112 less yards of offense and are one of the better passing defenses in the country. If they can limit Price and the Panthers rushers, Western should walk away from this one handedly. It's not the same team since they took on Troy the first time. Since that game, MTSU has played 6 games. In those 6 games, MTSU has scored 28 or more 4 times, Asher has only had 1 game go for under 280 all-purpose yards, and the offense is clicking in a way that it wasn't earlier in the year. They are coming off of a loss to Marshall, and when the Raiders have lost this season, it's been in bunches. MTSU has got to start fast against this Troy team unless they want to repeat what happened in Week 2. They've got to get Asher going and get some stops, and we should see what the Raiders can do this week.